What's going on, lads? This is Dave YGO, and today I have a Vanquish Soul list. This is not just any list, though. This is a list I got second place at Top Table Gaming's recent case tournament, and I figured I'd just go over the list with you and kind of explain some of my choices and what I'd change about it. So, hopping straight into it, we have 3 Ash Blossom, 2 Bestials, 3 Shifter, and 2 Bell. For defensive cards. I played these cards because, it's Vanquish Soul, and you just need the attributes. You need Fire, Dark, and Earth, and these were just some of the best ones I thought you could play. I originally was just playing 1 Magnamute because it being able to search Caesar Valius is, so insane. But I did some testing with some buddies the previous day, and the 1 Druis Worm, being able to search it off this came up a lot. So I was pretty happy with these hand trap defensive cards. They all came up pretty good. I did not see Shifter that often, though. I'm not gonna lie. I wish I would have seen this card more, because this is one of the big reasons to even play this deck. But I only saw it twice, and one of the games it did absolutely nothing. Was just might as well have just been a dark vanilla. It was not that great, but it is a really good card in the matchup and many of the matchups today. Fenrir and Rise Heart, obviously this is super standard. I don't even have to say anything about this. This is so good. Then the Vanquish Soul lineup, I think it was mostly fine. The only thing I would change is cutting 1 Heavy Borger for a second copy of Valius, because one of the times my Valius got banished face down by a Fenrir in a super grindy game state, and not having access to that really hurt in the long run. So having that second copy of Valius was really nice, and I always had multiple copies of Heavy Borger. So that's the only thing I'd really change for the Vanquish Soul lineup. I think the rest of these were fine. Not a lot. Again, there's not a lot here you really have to explain, Raisin's the God card. And moving on to the spells, we have Triple Durandal. This is kind of a interesting pick. A lot of people only play this as a 1 of, or even a 2 of, but for some reason, when I play this deck, Raisin hates me. He is never loyal, and he always likes to stay as far away from my hand as possible. So I decided to max out on this card, even though sometimes it's dead if you don't have it can be kind of awkward if you don't have a Fenrir or a body to put on the field first. But it is always live going second. But it only came up once where this was awkward, in my kind of dead in my hand. And that game, it was fine because I had enough defensive cards to where my opponent committed a monster to the field, and I was able to resolve it anyway. So, not super standard to play 3 of this, but I can't see Raisin, and you need to see Raisin. So, 3 Prosperity, again, nothing to really say. Same with Rhoda. You just have to play these cards. Same with Stake Your Soul. It's just more copies of Raisin. As long as you can see Raisin, you're cooking. If you don't see Raisin, you're in very big trouble. And then we just played 1 Dust Devil, 1 Snow Devil, and 1 Continue. A lot of people like either siding or just cutting this card, but I kind of like it because all of these cards have different applications. If I'm going first, I'm always searching the trap card. The trap card is nuts. It does so much. If the Link 1 gets outed or whatever, it's just kind of another copy of the Link 1 specialing from hand. And not to mention the blow up effect is insane. And honestly, the biggest effect of this card is his second effect, honestly. Because this cannot be destroyed by card effects mattered so much in so many matchups. Monadium players would try to go for game or whatever, and they try to summon Vicious Shroud and pop my guys, and they just couldn't. Same with Baron and stuff. And yeah, obviously the third effect is really crazy. So, and it also, being able to deal that much burn damage is really nice for OTKing on the next turn, because this deck can put up a good amount of damage, but a lot of times it can't put up 8k. So sometimes you'll just put up a 25 of a Heavy Borger, some damage with Jowlong or whatever, and then you can double Heavy Borger burn, and then this card will help you lock the game out. So that's good. And then the 1 Called By. And then the extra deck, I'm gonna be honest, the only cards in here that matter are 3 Rock of the Vanquisher, Typhon, and Dweller. I'm gonna be honest, the entire event, I pretty much only summoned these 5 cards, because all this other stuff is just utility. And I also played I think another thing I changed about this deck, just with the Caesar Valius and the Heavy Borger, is I think I would cut this little Ultimate Slayer package I was playing, which was a Miralogic Aggregator, a Garura, an Intis, and Like Baron kind of was like part of that package. Honestly, I played this package just because I really love Ultimate Slayer. I think this card is so cool. I think this card does so much for the deck. And I think it can crack a lot of boards. But, like, honestly, it should have just been another card and just played more utility. Like, maybe Baguska, maybe the Zodiac Engine. Like, the only time, like, I sided this card a couple times against a couple matchups, like Branded, but I didn't see it. And the only time any of these extra deck card targets came up is that Branded player used Maximus. So I was able to send double fusion. But besides that, it just didn't come up. Like, and I'm not going to lie, the extra deck, it's not as big of a deal because, like I said, like, as long as you have Rocket the Vanquisher, Typhon, and Dweller, like, that's all you need. Dweller is so good against so many of the decks right now, like, and you can make it so easily turn 1. Like, you make it against Fire King, and they are struggling. Like, they are in deep crap if you resolve Dweller. Like, it's pretty rough for them. So, yeah, I mean, Excite Time Knight usually comes up sometimes, but it didn't this time. But this is kind of like my Zeus because I wasn't playing Zeus. But I'm going to be honest, Zeus didn't even come up even if I was playing it. And then Phoenix and Unicorn did come up in one matchup where I needed to, like, get rid of a back row and then I needed to get rid of a fire monster without destroying it. So I was actually pretty happy I played them. And then SP and Dark. SP came up one time and it didn't win me the game. And Dark never came up. I would honestly consider cutting this card. And then the side deck was very standard. We just played 3 Droll, 3 Nib. There was so much combo going around at my locals and, like, well, not locals, a case tournament. It's the locals I play at, but they were hosting the case tournament. But, like, Droll is really good against Pure Cash and Monadium, and there was a lot of that running around. Same with Nib, especially against Monadium, and a lot of those other, like, big fire combo decks that, like, are, like, making, like, the Heat Soul line and stuff. So these cards were really good. Ultimate Slayer, like I said, this is probably the one card I should change. I don't think it's that crazy good right now, but, like, it's a really fun card, and I really love using it. Like, and, like, against, like, Centurion, when they try to go for, like, the Calamity Lock, they have to wait till main phase, so you can, like, Ultimate Slayer target the level 12, shuffle it back, and then it's just gone, and they can just make, like, 112, and they're not going to be able to Calamity Lock you. Evenly was all right. In theory, against some of the fire decks that, like, go all in, it can kind of destroy a lot of their board, but then they still have, like, Kieran in hand, but it's, like, all right, but I never sided it. I mainly just sided these cards, and I also sided these cards going first. Yeah, I never saw Anti-Spell, I don't think, but I did see Tikaboo once and was really good. So, yeah, that's pretty much the whole list. That's the list I took to a second place finish, I think out of like 48 or 50 people. It was a really fun event, and I hope to do it again, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Make sure you subscribe, like, and I'll see you guys later.